See, we will be learning about electric power, electrical energy, and also the consumption of electrical energy in an electrical circuit in this video lecture, and the specifications of electric power and voltage on any electrical component. So to start with, we have an electrical circuit which is displayed on the screen, and you are able to see a battery and a bulb along with connecting wires. There are connecting wires. Those connecting wires are connecting battery and electrical bulb, and you are able to see that electrons are flowing through the conductors. Clearly in the animation it is showing that electrons are flowing through electrical circuit. And we have already discussed about electric battery, what electric battery does. We already learned in the previous video lecture. If you do not know about working of electric battery, you can go through previous video lectures in the YouTube channel. Now see, here is a battery. This battery offers some potential difference V. And this is an electrical bulb. Electrical bulb, it is consumer. Electrical bulb is a consumer. When you are connecting a consumer with a source with connecting wires, and if you switch on the tap key, then electric charge would flow through these conductors. When there is electric charge flowing through these conductors, electric charge flow is due to work done by the battery. Who is responsible for motion of electric charge in the conducting wires? It is because of battery. As you are providing some battery, like this battery will offer some potential difference to the conducting wires. As a result, electric charge in these conducting wires will be flowing from high potential region to low potential region. So this battery does some work on electric charge. Now the amount of work done, by the battery W is equal to V into Q, where V is electric potential, Q is the amount of charge flowing through the circuit. Less is the amount of charge flowing, less will be the work done. More is the amount of charge flow, more will be the work done, and that is possible only if there is greater potential difference offered by the battery. If the battery is providing high potential difference, more amount of charge can flow through the conducting wires. As a result, when charge is flowing through this consumer, like a bulb or a tube light or electric fan, that consumer converts some of the electrical energy of the charge into light energy or mechanical energy. In this case, we are dealing with a bulb. Therefore, when electric charge is flowing through this bulb will convert electrical energy into light energy. Similarly, if you are, instead of bulb, you are connecting a fan here, and you are connecting that fan in between the terminals of positive and negative of the battery. As a result, electric charge will be flowing through this conducting wires along with fan. When electric charge is flowing through this fan, it converts electrical energy into mechanical energy, so that fan will be rotated. Like that, a consumer converts electrical energy into other form of energy. That depends upon the consumer. Suppose if it is bulb converts electrical energy into light energy. Likewise, if it is a fan, electrical energy can be converted into mechanical energy. If it is a fan, like that, we will be having different components, different consumers. Those consumers will convert electrical energy into other forms of energy. So here a consumer is that which is consuming energy, and that is possible only if charge is flowing through the circuit. Charge flow through the circuit if you are connecting the wire to high potential and low potential. As a result, charge will be flowing from high potential region to low potential region. Therefore, circuit is said to be completed. When circuit is completed, electric charge flow, and when charge is flowing, the consumer will convert electrical energy into other forms of energy. Therefore, who is responsible for the whole process? Battery is responsible for the whole process. What does this battery do initially? Battery, it stores chemical energy, and this chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. And the electrical energy, when it is flowing through this bulb, it will convert electrical energy into light energy. Therefore, who is responsible? Chemical energy is indirectly converted into light energy. Therefore, battery is the main, battery plays key role in this electrical circuit. So battery is doing some work, and that work done, W, can be written as V into Q. From Ohm's law, we can write V is equal to IR, where I is current flowing through the circuit, R is resistance of the consumer. Therefore, work done W can be written as IR into Q. This is one more expression which you have for electrical work done. And similarly, as we know, charge flow Q is equal to I into T. You can use that here. So work done W can be written as V I T. This is one more equation which we have for electrical work done. Like this, when you are converting, like when there is an electrical consumer connected to the battery along with wires, electrical energy is converted into other form of energy. The amount of work done by the battery is equal to V into Q, and that amount of work done converts into electrical energy. That electrical energy again gets converted into other forms of energy. That's what electrical energy is consumed by consumers. These consumers can be of different types: a bulb, a tube light, an electric fan, a mixer, grinder, a TV, refrigerator, any component it can be. That component will have a capacity of consuming some amount of energy. So depending on the number of consumers present in our electrical circuit, there will be that much amount of energy absorbed by those consumers. Suppose if you are taking another bulb here, you are connecting one more bulb here, you are connecting one more bulb here, you are connecting one more bulb here. There are 3-4 bulbs now. More are the bulbs, more will be the electrical energy consumed. More is the electrical energy consumed, more will be conversion of electrical energy into light energy. Therefore, more amount of energy is consumed if there are more number of components present in the circuit. More are the components, more will be the current drawn from the electrical circuit, right? So this amount of energy consumed is practically called as, it is called unit. So what is a unit? Unit is the mathematical expression of amount of electrical energy consumed in an electrical circuit by all the consumers present in that particular circuit. So we are talking about unit. It means that as there will be a refrigerator in your home, there will be a TV, and there will be a mixer and grinder, 4 fans, 5 tube lights, and some small bulbs. These all are consumers. And when you are switching on these all consumers, they draw current from the battery. But practically there will be no battery. There will be a live wire, service wire. From that service wire, current will be drawn from these all consumers. So as a result, there will be an electric meter which measures how much amount of energy is drawn by the consumers in your home. That electrical meter measures electrical energy which is drawn to your home, and that electrical energy is represented in terms of an electrical unit. So 100 units are consumed in your electrical home, in your home. It means that all the components which are present in your home, they are consuming 100 units of energy. Electrical energy is consumed. Electrical energy is converted into other form of energy. So this is the way we can clarify a unit, 100 units, and the bulb marking 60 watt and 120 volt. So what does this 60 watt and 120 volt? It means that this indicate the power consumed by the bulb at this much voltage. I'll tell you about that clearly. Let us consider a bulb. Upon this bulb, it is marked as a 60 watt 120 volt. This is operating specifications of bulb. What does it mean? It means that 120 volt is called operating voltage. It is called operating voltage. And this 60 watt mean that when this bulb is operated at 120 volt, it draw 60 watt of power. It draws 60 watt of power from the circuit or from the battery. So the marking 60 watt and 120 volt on the bulb indicate that the voltage which is usually marked on the bulb or a consumer represent that it is operating voltage. Operating voltage is that voltage where in that country you can use that consumer at that particular voltage only. Suppose as this bulb is having operating voltage of 120 volt. If you are operating this bulb whose value is less than 120 volt, we do not have any problem. But if the operating voltage is exceeding 120 volt, in such cases, this bulb will burn. Bulb will be burning because of very high heat developed in the circuit. That is the reason why every electrical consumer will have one operating voltage. And that operating voltage should not be exceeded when you are using that electrical component. If it is less than the operating voltage, no problem. We do not have any problem with that. But if the operating voltage is exceeded by the applied voltage, in such cases, more current is drawn through the bulb, more current is drawn through the through that particular circuit. As a result, more heat is generated. As more heat is generated, that bulb will burn because of such high heat generated in the circuit. Therefore, remember, voltage supplied should be numerically equal or it can be less than operating voltage. Remember this. Supplied voltage in the circuit should be less than or equal to operating voltage, but not greater than operating voltage. If it is greater than operating voltage, then as I told you, there will be greater load in the circuit. More is the load. In such cases, the bulb will be drawing more amount of current, which results more heat. More heat mean that that bulb will be burned off. That is what these are called operating voltages, and at that particular voltage, how much amount of electrical power is drawn from the electrical circuit is represented on that electrical consumer. So usually here in this case, when you are connecting the bulb at 120 volt, 60 watt of electric power is utilized or drawn from the battery to this bulb when connected at 120 volt, right? So this is the specifications of the bulb. Yeah, students, we already defined electrical energy. Electrical energy is the capacity of work done by the battery. So work done is equal to energy stored, and that work done is equal to V into Q, where Q is equal to IT. You can write work done W is equal to VIT. And unit of electrical energy, unit of energy is joule in SI system, erg in CGS system, and the other commercial unit is kilowatt hour, is the commercial unit of electrical energy. So kilowatt hour is the commercial unit of electrical energy, and 1 kilowatt hour is called 1 unit. 1 kilowatt hour is called 1 unit. Okay. So now let us come to electric power. Electric power. What is power? Power is simply defined as time rate of electric work done is called power. Therefore, power can be written as work done by time taken, and this work done W by T, we already know W is equal to VIT divided by T. T and T gets cancelled. Therefore, electric power can be simply defined as voltage into current. So electric power is defined as voltage into current I. So P can be written as V into I, and unit of electric power joule per second, or you can call it as watt in SI system. You can write it as erg per second in CGS system, and horsepower is commercial unit of power. Horsepower is denoted with HP. 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. This is the relation between horsepower and as well as general wattage. So that is commercial unit of electrical energy is 1 unit. If your electrical bill is 150 unit, if your electric bill is 150 units, what does it mean? Through like all the consumers which are present in your home, they are drawing electrical energy, and the total energy consumed will be 150 kilowatt hours. 150 kilowatt hour of electrical energy is consumed in your home if the electric bill is 150 units. Likewise, depending on the unit, how many number of units you are consuming, corresponding to that, you need to pay electric bill. 1 unit will be approximately charged with 2.5 rupees to 4.5 rupees, or even if it is commercial unit, it can be 7 rupees, 8 rupees, 12 rupees also, based on how much voltage they are providing to the house. Now, 1 kilowatt hour is numerically written as What is kilo? Kilo is 10 power 3. What is joule per second? 1 watt is 1 joule per second. And hour, 1 hour is 60 into 60 second. Second and second gets cancelled. What you are left with? 6 into 6, it is 36 into 10 power 3. This 0, 4 and 5. 10 power 5 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 36 into 10 power 5 joule. So 1 unit of electrical energy consumed mean that 36 into 10 power 5 joule of electrical energy is consumed. 100 units mean 36 into 10 power 7 joule. That much high amount of electrical energy is consumed in your home. So usually that's the reason why this is commercial unit of electrical energy, because its magnitude is very high, into 10 power 5. Remember this, it is into 10 power 5. So such large amount of energy is consumed in your home. So 1 kilowatt hour is mathematically written as 36 into 10 power 5 joule. Right. So based on the electrical consumers, as many number of units is consumed, depending upon that you will be getting electric bill. 100 units are consumed, in the sense for 1 unit if they are charging 2 rupees, your electric bill become 200 rupees. Like that, using commercial unit of electrical energy, we can place electric bill. We have an electrical bulb connected in the circuit for a battery of voltage V. As the whole circuit is switched on, there will be some current flowing in the circuit. The amount of current flowing in the circuit is I. Corresponding to this, there will be amount of work done by the battery. Work done by the battery, W, is equal to V into Q, or you can write it as W is equal to VIT. This is work done by the battery. And this is in joule. Work is done by the battery, it is in joule. As we know that whenever electric charge is flowing through the bulb, definitely some heat is developed in the circuit. So when current flow in the circuit, heat is produced in it. Heat is produced in it, and that heat produced, you are denoting it with Q. Q is heat produced. Q is heat produced. And Joule's law states that the heat produced in the circuit is directly proportional to work done by the battery. How much amount of work is being done, that much amount of heat is developed in the circuit. So therefore, W is directly proportional to Q. W is directly proportional to Q, and W is equal to JQ, where J is called Joule's constant, or it can be even called it as mechanical equivalent of heat. And J is equal to W by Q, which is numerically written as 4.18 joule per calorie. So Q is heat energy, heat has unit calorie. W is work done has unit joule. So this J is mechanical equivalent of heat or Joule's constant, which is written as 4.18 joule per calorie. In some textbooks, you can write it as 4.2. 4.18 is rounded off to 4.2. Right? So this is Joule's law. What does Joule's law states? So here in this, there will be some amount of heat produced. There is some amount of heat produced in the circuit that I am considering it as Q. The amount of heat generated in the circuit is depending on work done by the battery. More is the work done, more will be the heat flow. Therefore, W is equal to JQ, or you can write it as Q is equal to W by J, where W is equal to VIT divided by J. V is voltage, I is current, T is time taken, and J is Joule's constant. This is the way you can find out how much amount of heat is produced in the circuit by the definition of Joule's law.